Yo, it's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel 82 Kings. Hit that notification bell so you can see all the new podcast episodes. You can see all the Mac Minute sessions, all that. Some people have been telling me that they haven't been getting the notifications. Well, you don't get the notifications unless you hit the notification bell. And then yet still, you still have to go back, every now and then and just make sure you're still subscribed. Because they say YouTube it gets kind of weird. People are unsubscribed. Not on their own volition, but they're unsubscribed and the notification bell is unclicked. It's weird. I guess some type of ghost in the machine type stuff. I don't know. But real quick, Mac Minutes. Oh yeah. Follow the movement on Instagram. At MACKTV_82. But let's get done with the formalities. Let's get to it. The ever-present topic right now is the Gayle King interview, and I want to speak on it. First and foremost, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, everybody that was on board when that helicopter came down. I guess. I understand that in the spirit of journalism that you want to find the synthesis between, reality and fiction, and you want to see what is the highest truth. I get that. My issue with Gayle was the fact that, look, this man's body isn't even in the ground yet, and it just seems like he's on trial again. It's like you want to put him on the trial of public opinion. Like let that man rest in peace. He was even the case, his accuser, the trial, they said they didn't even have enough evidence to take it to criminal court. So I think it's kind of interesting how people pick and choose when justice manifests. And when justice is somehow denied, but he did settle out of court in the civil suit. And I think the thing that's really dope about Kobe is he never disparaged her, the accuser. He never tried to make himself seem blameless. He pointed out that his infidelity was wrong. It was foul. He made a mistake. But I feel as though there was a lot of yellow journalism going on with Gayle, in the sense of it seemed very almost like tabloid, sleazy, sordid media. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Yeah. And I think when I say juicy stuff, the juicy stuff being to denigrate Kobe, to disparage Kobe. Salute to Lisa Leslie. For handling that like a G. She was not rattled. She stayed respectful. I guess the thing ultimately that got me about what Gayle did was, how do you ask someone a question and then say, well, you really wouldn't know. Lisa, you were his friend. You really wouldn't know. And my thing is that response that Gayle gave to Lisa, it made me feel as though there was a narrative that Gayle wanted to propagate. There was a narrative that was being pushed, and what Lisa said was not in alignment with it. And I just thought it was interesting how she kept pressing her. And my thing was, if Lisa had said, Kobe is just this, he was a misogynist, he was an asshole, and he was hella disrespectful to women, Gayle probably would have left it at that. There wouldn't have been any further questions wait, Kobe is your friend, are you sure? No, she would have just ran with it. And I understand that a lot of people are very angry. They're very bellicose towards Gayle. Me personally, I don't think the death threats are cool. She says she's getting death threats. I don't think the death threats are cool. I don't think calling her a bitch is cool. Just out of respect for the fact that she's a black woman, and she's in the media. I don't like seeing people being subject to public scorn. even if I don't like them, because I think people have like this mob mentality almost, and they just collectively just go in on an individual. But yeah, Gayle said that she didn't like the way that CBS had contextualized it. Like they didn't even show the whole interview; they just kind of showed a clip, and that clip would evoke a lot of emotion, and she felt like it was distorted. But the interview itself was distorted. But I think she felt as though CBS placed it that way for display to bring attention to the interview. I mean, Gayle apologized for it. She seemed, I don't know, I kind of have a soft spot for people, I think, when they're genuinely apologetic, but I've been wrong. But my issue is, I think that in essence, it's good that we're holding the people who quote unquote represent us, that are journalists or that are quote unquote black media. It's good that we're holding them accountable. Like I'm glad to see black men getting together. Not even just black men. Our sisters have had our back. Like, no, you're not going to just talk shit about us, talk shit about our heroes, and paint us in a bad light and be unscathed. And I'm hoping that this serves as a forewarning for people to be more responsible with their journalism, for these networks to be more attentive with how they put things on display. But real quick, I want to talk about the media itself. R.I.P. Steve Coakley. I remember watching some of his speeches, and he would say how, like, you always, when it comes to institutions, when it comes to organizations or whatever, you have to trace the steps and see, okay, who is behind what? Who is really pulling the strings? Who essentially is the Wizard of Oz? Like, who's behind the veil? And let's talk about it real quick. Because essentially those people are the ones controlling the narrative. But real quick, in 1984, there were 50 independent media companies. And in 1984, there were 50 independent media companies. As of now, in 2019, 90% of the U.S.'s media is controlled by 4 media outlets. Those media outlets being media conglomerates. Those media conglomerates are Comcast, Disney, Viacom, and CBS, which are both owned by National Amusements, and then AT&T. The FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission, they regulate the media. They essentially, in theory, are kind of like the watchdog. They try to make sure the media is fair and unbiased, but we all know that that's not true. As of the you have the Telecommunications Act. Let me get my words together. Telecommunications Act of 1996, which essentially, in theory, it was meant to break up media monopolies and break up essentially, like, it would erase the concept of there being like one dominant media. But essentially, it did the reverse. Now there were, like I said, as of 1984, there were over 50 independent media companies. But now there's essentially 4 media conglomerates that control the whole narrative. So we got some real allegory of the cave shit going on. People manipulating the media. And when I say manipulating the media, essentially everyone has an agenda. And the person that has the most money and the most resources, more often than not, dictates the narrative. And I want to quote Noam Chomsky. He said, he who controls the media controls the minds of the public. Let me say that again. He who controls the media controls the minds of the public. So I think at the end of the day, like, people really need to pay attention, question media, ask themselves, what is the narrative that is being pushed? What is being sold to me? Let's be self-reflective and let's do some critical thinking. Let's not just allow to embrace and just digest everything as truth. Question the media, question everything. Somebody had told me, if you're in search of the truth, you almost have to consider, no, not almost, if you're in search of the truth, you have to consider everything potentially being a lie. So let's be mindful of that, to really question the media, even question ourselves. Like, why do I feel a certain way about certain things? You know, why do I believe what I believe? You know? But yeah, I think at the end of the day, the one of the things that has kind of evolved from this whole Gayle King debacle is essentially this ongoing infinity war between black men and black women. I identify as this, and misogynoir, misogyny, misandry, like, y'all hate black men, y'all hate black women. Like, that shit needs to stop. Because again, as I've always said, white supremacy does not care about our identity politics. We have to understand, at the end of the day, we need to be resources unto each other, and to love and support each other. And I know that sounds real beautiful in theory, but at the end of the day, all we got is us. And if we don't got us, and when I say if we don't got us, meaning if we don't support each other and look out for each other, there is no future. You know, there's no veil to run, there's nowhere to run to, because essentially our blackness trumps everything. You know, there is no, well, I'm a black feminist, so I'm special, or I don't know, somehow, like, I'm a black man, and I have a lot of money, so I'm gonna be okay. Like, no, that doesn't work that way. Or I'm gay and I'm black, so I have my special circle that protects me. No, white supremacy does not care. White supremacy does not care about black people's identity politics. You know, and I think, who was it? Can't remember the gentleman's name right now. He wrote The Spook Who Sat by the Door, but he had a quote that basically said, never underestimate the cowardice of black intellectuals. And by that, I'm bringing that up. Sam Greenlee, he said that. And I'm bringing that up because I feel like a lot of these, I don't know, the Mark Lamont Hills, the Michael Eric Dysons, these scholars, I'm not always, maybe they are well-intended, but I don't know, like, in light of this Kobe situation, I feel like, you know, they're gatekeepers almost. And they're gatekeepers for an agenda that is not carried out specifically for black people. I don't want to get into no conspiracy theories, but just, it don't sit right in my spirit. That's just me. What else we got? Again, like, I'm glad that all this is happening. Oh, one thing, I want to talk about Susan Rice. Susan Rice had called out Snoop. I don't really feel as though Snoop was implying, like, physical violence. He was just saying Gayle is going to continue to get dragged like she already is by people tweeting and posting and sharing things, you know, checking her. And I don't think people are wrong for doing that. I think we need to, people who are in the media need to understand they are subject to scrutiny, and they have an inherent and an innate responsibility that is owed to the public. Now, if you're black, you have an even deeper responsibility to your people. You know, it's like Jesus said. You know, who's without sin cast the first stone. I'm sure Gayle got her demons. Gayle's got some stuff that she messed up on. You know, things that I'm sure she, you know, as she's matured, realized, you know, she could have handled certain things better. You know, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. I got my stuff that I'm working on to be the best me that I can be. But yeah, and then Susan Rice, you know, saying, you know, she's, it's kind of funny you threaten somebody in asterisks. But my thing is, like, Susan Rice, like, I get it. You wanted to come to Gayle's defense, but I'm like, come on. Like, you didn't have that energy for Tamir Rice. You didn't have that energy for Trayvon Martin. You didn't have that energy for John Crawford. You know, so miss me with that army stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't, I don't know, be this aggressive in justice, in context of justice for black men and black women who have died at the hands of the police. You know, but, you know, you have all this energy and you can just make stuff happen because you want to get at Snoop. Miss me with all that. But anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe. This is the session of Mac Minutes. Follow the movement on Instagram at MACKTV_82. Peace and love. I'm out.